What's up guys, this is Shonan. Today we're going to check out Hampton Damansara in Country Heights Damansara, I think lah. So this is one project that I've always wanted to check because the construction actually took very long. In accordance to the online resource, they kind of started the works 2017 and they just borrowed handover not long ago. It also is in a location that is rather peculiar. One, it's within the entrance to one of the very atas address in KL City, Country Heights Damansara. And it's so atas to an extent that there's only one way in and one way out for the entire development above. So those are just mansion levels within the hilltop of Damansara. So this project is located adjacent to that, and it might be a problem because actually this morning the jam was actually stuck all the way here. Second thing, this is located next to the LDP tollgate connected to Sri Damansara and Desa Park City side. Third thing, this is right next to the Central Park Damansara development. So you can see the new developments are just all mushrooming opposite, and this is just a standalone. Then this is the, I don't know what bukit is this lah, but actually this is a trekking route that we can go up on actually. So I'm not too sure which orientation of the unit that we're going to get later. Hopefully they get this side, which is the hillside part. It's going to look so awesome just by drone shot itself. You get to see people's dream house category lah. Therefore, the entrance, let's talk about the entrance a little bit. There are two ways. One coming in directly from LDP, turning in, so there's a very nice buffer before the entrance itself, which is located away from the building. Second thing, there will be this small little private road. If you guys still remember the episode of the Vervain that we just went through, there's one small road under the LDP that connects over to this development. So from CPD side, you can actually just drive over here, and that might be a problem. Suddenly this private road becomes a share road for all the residents that side. But this forest setting, it's pretty awesome lah. But that does not take away the traffic noise from the highway itself. That's too bad. And now we are in the lobby car park, direct access from the Bila Bila Mart side. We can really see, smell and sense the age development. So I guess this structure here, the basement, that is already 7 years old because they started at 2017 and now they are still ongoing works. So you can see the whole basement as if it's incomplete, which is weird. It's incomplete. Like now you can see very weird compartments like that. You can see storage everywhere, workers everywhere, materials everywhere, a lot of unfinished stuff, and the musky, I think it's the moisture smell. But then you got a lot of residents actually parking their cars already. Weird. Coming out from the lift lobby, the width here is 1.97 meters. This is about 2.6 meters. And it's rather bright because of this opening here. But this opening is just weird. It borderline looks like a mistake, as if it is just trying to save up a wall. Okay, I understand that this is a handrail and it's steel handrail and it's open for ventilation, but then what's the purpose of this window then? I don't get it. Like, shouldn't this be like a parapet wall which is actually safer for residents? Like this open edge thingy is just giving me the chills lah. But anyway, this is the LDP highway toll, and this is the main entrance that you come in if you're coming in from the Sri Damansara Desa Park City side. That will be Forest Hill, a brand new development, and that will be Central Park Damansara connected to Kota Damansara already. In terms of material finishing, it's really within that fancy category. I think this kind of tile size is awesome, but this is the old specs from back then, right? And it includes the wall as well. It's full height, you will have the aluminium cover for the lift. So looking into the floor plan, this is like that typical investment kind of format. So the corridors are double loaded with units on both sides. In total, you have 11 units served by 4 lifts, 3 passenger lift, 1 service lift. And we are here now, so when you go out, there will be like 4 units on this side, the rest will be on the longer end. Next to the lift lobby, within the same space, this will be the kebok sampah. Let's go check it out. For 11 units, there will be this size, 5 feet wall tiles with an opening, but they are not open, not too sure why, but I think it's sufficient. No recycle bins. And the connection pathway from the lift lobby over to the corridor is via this fire door here. And there's no access card required. This will be the corridor. The corridor width is 1.6, the height is 2.85. Fully enclosed with plaster ceiling, so you won't see any piping. And the setting is a double loaded corridor. And what's surprising is for a design from back then, right, it's already without the void, so the units are just maximized within the floor plate. Then for flooring, you will see this huge size tiles with tile skirting at the side. Then on the edge of the corridor, there will be openings like on both sides. At the end, one here will be another one, and this side then will be awesome. So just look into this mountain view, right? For units that's facing this, solid. However, you just look into the units, right? These are all still incomplete, meaning they are still available. But you just look into the corner lot punya balcony design. Wow, that will be so cool. I think the units at this side will be the premium units facing this view. Wow, imagine you are just like opposite the Sabah City and you get to enjoy this every time you open the door. Nice though. And let's talk about the treatments of the edge. So here you will have a glass handrail. I'm not too sure why this drain is designed like that. You will have spray paint on the external facade. You will have this window panel to prevent rain from splashing into the unit, because there's actually one unit here. But this view is really something. Anyway, this will be the unit I'm going to check out today. The unit layout is a bit weird because it feels like a hotel where doors are directly facing door. So during the peak hours, right, when both sides open door, kind of awkward. How nice they can just alang-alang a bit, right? And anyway, there's no foyer before the unit, so directly you will need to either put your shoes outside, which is not allowed actually, and you just go inside. Anyway, this is the unit that I'm going to check out today. This is type A2 or A3. It depends on which side you are having on the unit. So the build up is 915 square feet. So it's a 2+1 bedroom and 2 bathroom. So when we come into the unit, straight away you will have this study area, which I thought was something else. Then you have the kitchen, dining area and living in the center, connected to the balcony. Then you will have a small door connected to, this is the aircon latch already. Bedroom 1 here, sharing the facade wall, and the other one, the master bedroom, connected to the master bath. So all bedrooms will be having access to the facade. However, only the study area here. What do you guys think? Let's go check it out. What's very nice is the door clearance is 945 mm, which means this is a 1 meter door by 2.4 meter height door. And once you come in, this will be your kitchen. So this is the dining, empty space here. This shouldn't be the dining, man. Anyway, this will be the living, and you will have rooms and rooms at the side. So right in front, this will be the kitchen area. The clearance of the workspace here is about 1.45 meters. Very comfortable, and this will be the location of your fridge. The ceiling height then for the front portion, because there's a drop in ceiling height, is about 2.9, so I think the front portion will be about 3 meters. So the length here is about 1.8 meters. This length here is about 2 meters wide. That includes a space for a washing machine and a dryer. But technically at this size, right, there should be a yard space, but in this format tak ada lah. So this seems to be the modern format of the older design. Anyway, this seems to be provided by the developer. Looking at it, the top and bottom, you will have a soft closing. You have this solid surface, a 2-burner. So big space, but you have a washer and dryer here lah. 2-burner by Electrolux. The hob and the hood as well by Electrolux as well. This one also Electrolux. Oven also Electrolux. Fridge also Electrolux. Obviously it's from the developer. And I think it's okay, just that the top portion here is a bit wasted in my opinion. Backsplash also follows the same finishing for a better experience. Here will be the plug points furnished by Hager. This space then would be the debate, because this you cannot enclose it because you've got no windows at all. Therefore, you can only consider this as a +1. But this +1 is actually almost bigger, if not the same size as the regular room. The wall-to-wall width here is about 2.68 meters. And the team converted this into a dining. It would be also cool if this is a work area, but the echo and the lack of ventilation with daylighting somewhat becomes the thing. So I don't know, but it looks good. These then highlight the design treatments of not having voids. When you don't have voids, there's this lack of ventilation and daylighting opportunities for the rooms attached to the corridors. If the criteria is still to maximize the floor plate, this will be the end result. We also have witnessed where floor plans with a lot of voids in the center, to an extent where the access to the room is somewhat like a bridge. So for the rooms attached closer to the corridor, then you will have a lot of opportunities for ventilation, but then the quality is also not very good. So which one is actually better? If this is a study room, technically this will be the dining area, because it's located there already. Suddenly now here you have a lot of space connected to your living room and the balcony. So the wall-to-wall width is about 3 meters. The ceiling height is also 3 meters. And just to make sure that this room feels way bigger beyond the stats is because of the size of the window and the view that it gets. Because this entire experience coming in directly through the living space, right? Look into the size of the balcony. Wow, and this is the view that you get. I don't like the overlooking thing next to the units, right? This view is amazing. Okay, this is the only entrance and access into Country Heights Damansara, where you can see all the mansion, rumah-rumah orang kaya. There will be Sunway development. This will be Desa Park City already. And you can see the amount of greeneries. The size of the balcony is 1.5 meters in width and about 3.1 meters in length. And it feels even bigger because of the handrail treatments that you have, the glass and steel handrail. You maximize the view to the nature. This is nice. Just imagine having a table here every morning, just wake up. You can even do yoga here because it's so wide. And the tile size is already bigger than usual. Anyway, then this also will be the access, a very safe access. I absolutely love it, to the aircon latch. Okay, but one thing though, we have a mixed audio feeling. So you have the sound of cricket, the nature, bird sound and all, but at the same time a lot of traffic noise from the LDP highway. Also one more thing, a lot of supercars that are actually coming from the neighboring developments, like just now, because there's a lot of road humps along the access, so in order to brake and they rev their engine, right? A few cases already. But anyway, let's just try out the window. There's no tint at all. And to just test the audio isolation. Solid. So by looking into the property portal, selling price for a brand new unit, apparently there's still units around. A brand new unit is about 680 to 700,000 for this size. The corner lots one, which is the one with the L-shaped balcony, that's about 1,400 over square feet, 1,300 also got. Those will be about 1.2 to 1.4 million. And this unit, this exact unit that we are in right now, the tenant will be coming in like next week. And the rental rate is 3,200 per month. So if you got this at about 680,000, you will still make money. Very good, very good. And this orientation is the better one, because on the other side then will be LDP. But I think also there will be difference in pricing based on orientation and based on blocks as well, because on the adjacent block there will be still this stack of the corner lots not being sold yet. In terms of flooring design, it's a 600 by 600 mm tiles, but I don't like the pattern now. This shows the age of the initial material selection, but the rest don't feel like it because it's furnished by the makeover guys, right? But this one feels weird. Anyway, moving on, again with the flooring with a lot of patterns. Anyway, this is the first bedroom at the side. The size of the room is 2.67 by 4.35 meters. It's huge, very big. Just that I think the pattern of the floor tiles kind of made it look smaller, to be honest. So these are actually timber-like tiles. Those are not timber floorings, yeah, or laminated timber. No, these are tiles. And after you put in your wardrobe, you put in your queen size bed, you still can have a lot of space around. And this will be the window size looking outwards. This is nice. Okay, so this window here, for safety purposes, they kind of locked in, so children cannot really just go out like that. It's actually almost full height. I like it. No tints at all. At the corner then, this will be the access to the bathroom. Okay, so this is locked right now. So let's go to the other side. Yeah, so this will be the common shared bathroom, and you can actually access from both sides. In terms of specification, memang atas you have American standard for your basin, vanity top with terrazzo patterns, American standard for WC, full height wall tiles, rain shower system, and you will have this partition here. Just that I don't like this access to the bedroom, because suddenly, right, this toilet becomes so small just because of this extra access. Why do you need this access anyway? If you just eliminate that access, suddenly this toilet is amazing. You can just walk out and use ma. Yeah lah, people say that you need to go through the public area, but too bad lah. In terms of door height then, it's all 2.4 meters, very nice. But because of the ratio of the toilet door, then it looks kind of weird. But the door frames, they use steel door frames with this shadow gap, so the joints are actually very tidy. But also for a 980 square feet unit, this is a 2+1, seems very luxurious. Now 980 can actually put 4 rooms already in modern design. Anyway, this will be the master bed. Talking about this kind of typology, the not so good part is the privacy of the bedroom, because every time you open the door, directly you can see whatever that's going on in the bedroom lah. So I don't like this kind of format, but it's efficient in a sense where they are minimal to almost zero space used as circulation in the unit. That's why you can feel like the space around the unit is actually very big. Anyway, the wall-to-wall width here for the master bedroom is 2.83 meters. That's why after you put in a queen size bed here, you still have a lot of space for circulation. Very nice. They use the same tiled floorings, which I would argue otherwise. I think this view really just justifies it already lah. Like you have the almost full height window, and you open up to this view. Desa Park City, tempat orang-orang kaya, right? But just that at this age then, the privacy element, like the user standing at the balcony, you can actually see inside, or you can see them. Something to mark. Like, of course, I always got curtain to kind of circle that lah. But this view is solid, man. Especially when you have a direct comparison to Central Park Damansara. The entire development around that township, right? The density is just crazy. So here you will really have a direct comparison. You want to be a township that easily have 10 to 12,000 units, right? Compared to this standalone unit. And this one is then in between Desa Park City as well. But that one pricing is a whole different category altogether lah. Maybe, I think, double the price of this property here. Bedside tables available. You should have a lot of space in between before you go into your almost walk-in wardrobe. This is so cool. Going in, then this will be the ensuite bathroom. Wow! The size of the bathroom is 2.7 by 2.6 meters. very big to an extent where you can accommodate a for him, for her basin. Furnished by American standard, then you will have this vanity top as well. They don't have a cabinet, you can add on if you are going to stay in the unit yourself. American standard WC here, you will have this shower screen, then wow, bathtub here, but too bad it's not attached to any facade, that's why you will need a mechanical ventilation system. Full height wall tiles with the shower system as well. Wow, this is nice. Totally didn't expect the bathroom to be this size. What a luxury to have. Yeah, this entire master suite altogether, right, totally justifies the whole price really, because like, wow, this would be a perfect dual key unit. But I think it was designed as a dual key in the corner units as well, just looking into the floor plans, right? Solid. And I guess that's all for the unit, right? Let's go check out the facilities deck. Technically, due to the topography design, we kind of got lost, but this is actually ground floor where the facility is. So all the elevated car park is actually at below, which is kind of cool. So when we come in here, immediately we are surrounded by greens already. So this will be the lounge area below the residence tower, and this will be the garden. So you will have all the landscape features around the fringe and the corner. And wow, look at all the green space around this floor. Some are real turfings, some are artificial turfings. This is somewhat like a pets park. This is the outdoor fitness area. And then your children playground on the side. Kind of nice, but how I wish this is located under the lounge area instead. But anyway, you will have pebble wash treatments for all the hardscapes here. These are sitting areas, but just look at it, right? The amount of artificial turfings is just crazy. I think this is to minimize the cost of maintaining it. Then here will be another extension of the playground, but there's just a lot of levelings. I'm not too sure is that intentional. It looks like it, right? Then this will be the outdoor meeting area. It looks like it, I think it's just a chill out area. But anyway, from block B just now, coming over to block A, within the connection there will be a shaded corridor, so this is nice. Pebble wash again extended all the way. This then will be the swimming pool area, so this I think will be the wading pool, the shallow end, and the swimming pool will be facing the mountain, which is nice. This is so peaceful. You will have the infinity edge at the end. This will be the lap pool. I think this is about 40 meters just by guesstimation. You will have the furniture to sit outside. This will be the entry into the pool. The solid blue really gives it a different vibe altogether. This will be water features from the water spout, right? And that will be maybe the jacuzzi at the end. So this connects from Tower B over to Tower A. This material is very peculiar. It's just concrete or stone, I'm not too sure, but I kind of like it. Anyway, you will have planter box around the area for better privacy. And walking over to Tower A, Tower A is the one that comes with more direct facilities. Like here, this will be the gym already facing the greens and the pool. This will be function room 1, where it's like a shared dining area. So when the unit is too small to host family gatherings, then you can just rent this place, get a chef here, and gao dim your birthday or gender reveal for your new baby lah. But I like the scale of the doors. It really gives you that very majestic feel to it. Very nice. And then this will be the gym at the side. So here you will have 2 treadmills, and the equipment is actually furnished by our friends at F1 Recreation. Bicycles all facing the pool and the hill. Very nice. This will be the shear wall they use as a partition over to this weights room and free weights area. So you have some machine Wow, you have an eco bike here. And again, back to the very extensive aluminium and glazing components. Solid. Next to the gym, this will be the indoor golf. So here you get to have a place to practice your golf swing. Kinda nice. I realized that the security guards here are very strict. They keep asking, what's your position here? Why are you here? And things like that. But at the edge of the facility floor plate here, then very nice. Especially you can really have a full experience of the forest sound, the cricket nature sound, right? The bird mix, bugs mix, I don't know lah. But also you get a mixture of the traffic sound as well, which is very peculiar this side here. On the other side then, this will be a hangout area, and for the handrail they're just using steel handrails. Suddenly they realize this is not high enough, that's why this is rather intimidating. But they also located the landscape areas to be at the fringe for safety reasons. This is barbecue area number 2. Just now in the front there was one, a half basketball court. Well, I think this will be very noisy for the immediate unit up there. They can actually help shoot the ball also. But what's good is we can see a lot of people are actually moving in, a lot of cleaning process, a lot of renovation works are ongoing. Hardscape wise, in terms of ratio, is higher because there's less maintenance, and it's all using this pebble wash treatment, which I absolutely adore lah. But this is really something else. You get really a lot of that pressure from this area. But just to highlight, like, there needs to be some safety measures around edges of this. So this is the other barbecue pit, right? And platforms like this, kind of dangerous, right? And the difference between levels, right? It's such a nightmare to construct this area. There you got up to go down, up to go down. It's nice from an architectural aesthetic point of view, but wow, it's killing the knees, man. Anyway, now we are in level 5. From the ramp seems to be the main drop off to the lobby here, and this will be the car park space. So you can actually just come up here, and this will be on the way down as well. So it's now all covered, but you can see the age of the construction already, so it's all just dusty. And this will be the foyer space before going into the lift lobby. Very generous. But this also just showcased the shear wall construction system that is applied lah. Huge shear wall with flat slab system. Very nice, very tidy. In terms of flooring, you will have cement screeded floorings, epoxy paints for pedestrian walkways. Some unit comes with a tandem car park, some individual car park. Anyway, this is facing LDP side already. And let's just go and feel the intensity of the noise a little bit. So there will be one small service road at the edge here. Technically it's for motorcycles to come in. I don't know whether cars can just come in without going through the toll or not. I don't think so, you can avoid the toll. But just to showcase a very different side of the same address, right? You just look into the mountains of units right opposite. And the funniest thing is the latest launch is also within the same price point as this. But then they also share the same characteristic, being next to the highway. That's why you can really feel the intensity of the traffic and noise. What I like here is the surface of the parapet walls are actually slanted, so you won't takong air. That's great. And I guess that's all for the project. It's now time for Sean's take 3 on 3. The very first thing I like will be the immediate setting lah. You have the greeneries of the hill right next to the development, and that just results in the density portion of things. When you have one side, right, there is only private mansions in a very atas location, Country Heights Damansara, right? Then you will have the hill. No one else is going to share the access with you anymore. So in that kind of setting, not bad. Then in terms of connectivity, is also pretty solid. So we will talk about the bad side later, but the direct connection to LDP that connects you over to Penchala, Kerinci that further connects to Duke, Mont Kiara, PJ, Kota Damansara, Damansara Heights, and other locations, right? So in this setting, then the connectivity is very solid actually, because it's directly next to the highway. Then the next thing will be the privacy of this location. So this road is already considered private, where it's the Country Heights kind of access, and you only have the ultra rich that's staying above. In total, there's only 700 over units spread across 2 towers, and nobody else is going to use this road really besides the residents of Country Heights and the development. Now, so along with the setting just now, this is just a very private address, like to an extent, right? Although this is located right next to a major highway, we don't see seriously a lot of cars that comes through this road one, besides all the supercars lah. And that's a whole separate conversation altogether. And the last thing I like will be part of the architectural treatment. Like, the 2 towers are actually slanted in a way. I thought it was slanted to the north-south orientation, but actually it's not. It's just slanted so that more units get access of the mountain view. Also, you get to squeeze more units within 2 towers in this setting. And because of that slanted design, then this reminds me of Tria in Seputeh, where it kind of creates this dynamic movement where all the lines, right, is somewhat more dynamic instead of the very linear format. The common area, I gotta say, the swimming pool, I really like the swimming pool. It's a rather extended water body. I didn't really expect that. Then for the unit layout, then I kinda like it. Because for a 900 over square feet build up unit, right, 2 bedroom is very luxurious lah. And to an extent where the bathroom is actually too big in my point of view, but it's definitely enjoyable. The +1 room is kind of wasted in my opinion, but that's the 3 points that I don't like lah. Pretty much the same points all together. This location, I don't really like it because of the micro elements, the highway. So it's really next to a toll gate, and this is the area where, yes, you will have the peace and quiet of the forest and the privacy of the roads, right? But going upwards, you will have all the supercars just revving. Wow. And for the whole tower, you can hear it. And in a very quiet surrounding, it gets worse, right? The second thing is, this is a toll gate. So when people slow down and after the toll, people just rev again. Part of that will be the access. So just now when I came from the opposite direction, not from Desa Park City direction, Waze kind of took me into Kota Damansara side, coming under the LDP highway, going through this private road. That was kind of eerie, and I guess when Central Park Damansara side is more completed, that will be their shortcut access into LDP itself. And when that happens, then really So besides the accessibility and the inconvenience getting around, right, mainly if your unit is facing LDP side, right, wow, it's going to be pretty tough because the pressure from the road is just crazy, like in my opinion lah. So the unit that we just visited faces the forest, then it's magical. The second thing I don't like will be the history and the current condition of the property, especially when we get into the access of the lower ground of the car park. There's just a lot of material storage everywhere. Like from the front, where you can see a lot of abandoned or the broken bathtubs, then we can see a lot of materials, glazing still lying around, a lot of construction workers coming and out. You got a lot of construction noise. Part of the tower is still not completed, so it gives me a very mixed signal when I came in, like, is this completed or not? I don't really like it, and that is also showcased within the material specification as well. If you look back, right, this was developed a long time ago. So if you look into the shear wall, it's still that very old technology. It's humongous. In terms of tiling, they will use the tiles with textures, and I think last time 900 over square feet 2 bedroom was considered reasonable. Now a 900 over square feet, you can actually put 4 rooms already. So it's a building condition that is incomplete in my opinion, that kind of puts me off. Maybe when it's completed, then you don't have this issue anymore lah, I don't know. But then the age of the building also is kind of evidence within the material specification and the design approach. That's what I don't like lah. And the last thing that I don't like will be the design approach. Some I like, some I don't like. Like, I feel very underwhelmed when I reach the common areas. Like, I do see a lot of platforms around to add dynamism to the space. Borderline is not safe leh. If it's a toddler walking around, sure fall down one. because there's just too many interchange of the platform. I don't like it. But in terms of photography, if you took into videos, right, it's amazing. You will have a lot of these lines and movements. Then within the facilities deck also, there's a lot of empty rooms. It looks like the developer didn't really have the resources to kind of focus on furnishing the extra spaces yet. And that's a problem of privacy as well. Like when you have not enough footfall in the development, right, there's not enough justification for facilities to be used also. So I'm not too sure what's happening there. But then with a density of 700 units, only 350 units per tower, you will have this hotel-like floor plate where units are laid in a double loaded corridor format. It feels like a hotel, and with 900 over square feet, right, you don't have a foyer to even put your shoe cabinet. That's weird. Then you will have a study room that is so big, don't know for what. Why don't they just put in an internal void space, so suddenly that can be a very nice bedroom? Suddenly your 900 over square feet becomes a 3-bedroom instead of a 2-bedroom unit, right? Then your bathroom gets to have ventilations and like things like that. So much more benefit, but this is going to make a lot of money from efficiency point of view. So again, this is pretty close to the second point just now, where it's just a very old approach to design. Too bad like 900 over square feet, 2-bedroom, you don't have yard space, don't have foyer, and once again, this highlights that across time, right, these back of house spaces were once forgotten. Everybody just want big room, big living, big balcony. But the back of house is what's important as well. So I'm really glad that for the current floor plate designs that we have, actually there's more emphasis on that already, which is good. And the very thing that I would want to really highlight, right, which is the floor plate at the edge. How come there is no apron or there's no curb to terminate the floor slab? It gives me a very eerie feeling, right? So if I were to have a toddler here, I am so paranoid. In a facility deck, it will definitely fall down. Then when you go to the edge, right, you will have this glass handrail. To look at what? Seriously, like to the highway side, right? Might as well just build a parapet wall. That is so much more solid. There's no views to begin with, right? So why build like that? I don't get it. Overall, do I like the project? So what clicks the most for me is definitely the view and the setting. This is really a prestigious setting to begin with. Like if you were to stay here, right, and I'll just live my very secretive private life all together, very nice, very secluded, nobody's going to come and visit me unless I have friends from Country Heights side. That's about it. Okay, if you're into that kind of format, very good. No public transport access, no people, no commercial areas. It's only residents and residents only. That is what I like. And the initial direction of the project aspire to be this luxurious format. You can really see that in the material specification. Just too bad the execution was not there. Means like the marketing didn't really went through. That's why until today still got units unsold. But to be honest, the value then is kind of interesting, because if you look at it, right, a 700 over 1000 unit for a 900 square feet unit in this setting actually pretty solid. I'm not too sure whether if it's the unit facing the forest side, but in comparison with CPD, the Central Park Damansara side, it's a very good comparison. One side you are very close to the commercial areas, but you are just surrounded by units. On this side you are standalone, but you're next to a tollgate, but it's very private and it's already ready. Then you look into the rental rates of 3,002. Solid. Well, thank you very much for watching. I guess that's all for this episode. If you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.